The sun sank slowly into the Texas horizon, smearing the sky with colors that felt too beautiful for a place so dead. Detective Aarya Singh stepped onto the cracked soil that once lay beneath Lake Respiro. The lake wasn't just gone, it felt murdered. Each footprint she left made a brittle crunch, like bones breaking under her boots. She inhaled the dry air and caught the faint scent of rust, almost like blood, but there was nothing here to bleed anymore. No water. No wind. Nothing but silence, the kind that felt like it was keeping secrets. She was sent here by CID headquarters after multiple small towns died overnight, shops closed, families vanished, farmland abandoned. Locals blamed the weather. Scientists blamed climate change. But the CID had a new theory: someone was controlling the crisis. She found him standing at the edge of the empty lakebed, a sharply dressed man in a dark suit, expensive shoes dusted with Texas soil. Ethan Cole. Wall Street investor. The kind of man who bought problems and sold solutions. His attention wasn't on her but on the void before them, as though he were having a conversation with the absence of water itself. "This place used to be alive," he said without turning around. Aarya didn't respond. She only studied him, calm posture, slow breathing, eyes fixed on something that once existed. She had seen criminals with guns, knives, rage in their eyes, but never one who looked like he was mourning. That made him dangerous in a different way. He finally turned. His gaze rested on her face, curious but unreadable. "Detective Singh from CID, right? I've heard of you." "You've heard of CID," she replied. "Not me." Her voice was steady, professional, but something about his stare felt intrusive, like he could read through her. He gestured around them. "I'm here to bring this place back." "Bring it back?" she asked. "How? With what water?" "A private pipeline," he said calmly. "Wall Street's funding it. If the state can't manage its resources, someone else will. Water will be a protected commodity." Aarya paused. The word commodity echoed like a gunshot. Protected, or controlled? A faint smile touched his lips, but his eyes stayed cold. Sometimes control is protection. She didn't like that answer. She also didn't like how her heartbeat changed when he stepped closer. Ethan was full of contradictions: soft voice, sharp mind, hidden motives. The kind of man who could kiss you or kill you and make both feel gentle. "You think I caused all this," he said quietly. "I don't think anything yet," she replied. "But people don't disappear because of drought. Land doesn't empty this fast. Something is wrong here." For a moment, he looked hurt. Not guilty, hurt. As though the accusation cut into him deeper than it should have. "Detective," he said carefully, "Texas is not running out of water. It's being pushed." Their eyes met. The air between them felt charged, like lightning waiting to strike ground. She couldn't read him fully, and that was the problem. Either he was hiding a crime, or hiding a heart. CID would say that both were equally dangerous. The underground auction was hidden beneath an abandoned warehouse in Houston, the kind people drove past every day without noticing. Above ground it was silent, dusty, forgotten. But beneath it, money flowed like rivers, and water was more valuable than gold. Detective Aarya Singh walked beside Ethan Cole down a long metal staircase, her badge tucked away, her instincts in high alert. The air reeked of humidity and greed. Security guards scanned faces more carefully than passports. Everyone who walked and left their conscience at the door. The auction hall glowed with low golden lights. Dozens of people stood around circular tables, whispering numbers that sounded like secrets. No one mentioned the word water, they just said, the asset. Aarya counted at least 15 billionaires, 2 politicians, and 1 man she recognized from CID files. Rafael Ortega. Cartel linked. Quiet. Dangerous. He watched her longer than she liked, as if he recognized something beneath her disguise. Ethan placed a hand lightly on her back to guide her forward. The touch was brief, but warm. Alarmingly warm. She hated that she noticed. They took their seats in the back row. Champagne was served. No one drank it. Everyone stared at digital screens, waiting for the first lot. Aarya's eyes scanned the names on the attendance register. They were heavily coded, but she had trained for this. She knew how to read lies. The people who once invested in oil now invested in thirst. They believed the world was entering a new era, a liquid empire. Aarya realized this wasn't an auction. It was the birth of a new world order. Ethan leaned close and whispered, "This is what survival looks like. Texas will thank us one day. Or arrest you," she muttered. He chuckled softly. "Detective, if you knew how bad things really are, you wouldn't be so confident about the badge in your pocket." A sudden bell rang. The auctioneer stepped onto the stage. His voice echoed, "Lot 1. Aquifer lease. South Texas region. Starting bid, $300 million. In seconds, digital paddles lit up. 300. 340. 400 million. The numbers rose like flames. Aarya felt her throat tighten. They weren't buying land. They were buying the future, bottle by bottle. Her world felt smaller with every bid. She glanced at Ethan. She expected to see greed. Instead, she saw conflict. His jaw was tense. His pulse visible near his throat. This wasn't excitement. It was fear. Fear of losing. Fear of something deeper. "Why are you here, Ethan?" she asked softly. "Really?" He didn't look at her when he said, "Because water is power. And power decides who lives." Their eyes finally met. But this time, she saw guilt. A crack in the armor. "Are you the cause of this crisis," she asked, "or the cure?" He hesitated. It was the first time she saw him uncertain. "Ask me when this is over," he said. "But detective," he leaned closer. "You should decide soon. Because once you understand everything, I don't know if you'll arrest me, or protect me." The next auction bell rang. The crowd focused on the screens. But Aarya realized something terrifying. This wasn't just a case anymore. It was a choice. And love might be the most dangerous bid of all. Deadman's Creek was nothing more than a scar on the Texas desert, dry, silent, forsaken. But CID didn't choose locations by accident. Reports claimed this was the last untouched well in the region, hidden beneath layers of rock and secrecy. Detective Aarya Singh stood beside the crumbling pump station, night wind brushing against her coat like a warning. Moonlight spilled over the metal structures and dead trees, lighting them up like crime scene photographs. No one lived here anymore. But something felt alive, waiting. Ethan arrived alone. No guards. No car. Just footsteps approaching through the dust. He looked different, less polished, more human. His tie was gone. His sleeves were rolled. His eyes carried the weight of a man who knew the end of a story before it started. "You already know everything, don't you?" he said quietly. She didn't answer. She just watched him. A faint wind tugged at her hair. He stopped 3 feet away. Too close for a suspect. Too far for something else. Aarya finally spoke. "You engineered the droughts. You redirected aquifers into private reservoirs. You didn't wait for the water crisis, you created it." He looked down. No excuses. No lies. Only a tired breath. Yes. She had expected resistance. Denial. Maybe even fear. But guilt? That was new. That was dangerous. She took one step forward. People lost their homes, Ethan. Families vanished. Land died. And you made billions. No, he said sharply. I lost billions. I pushed everything into one project, this one. He pointed behind her. The old pump creaked, activating slowly. Aarya turned. A single stream emerged, thin, but clear. The well wasn't dry. I bought time, he said. Time for Texas to wake up. Because no one listens until they're thirsty. She frowned, conflicted. So this is your justification? No, he whispered. This is my confession. Then he held out a small glass bottle. Clean. Untouched. Full. The last pure water from Deadman's Creek, he said. And the only thing I have left to give you. Her eyes widened. She had seen weapons drawn at her before, but never a gift that felt this heavy. He stepped closer. His voice softened. You think I'm the villain, he said. Maybe I am. But I didn't do this for money. I did it because one day, someone might drink this water, and live. Even if it's not me. Aarya felt her throat tighten. She tried to keep her voice steady. You manipulated the entire state. You broke the law. Yes, he said gently. So arrest me. Silence pressed between them. She took out her handcuffs, but didn't move. The wind died. The earth waited. So did her heart. Why tell me all this? She finally asked. He held her gaze, tired, vulnerable, almost fragile. Because, he said, before the world runs dry. I wanted you to know the truth. And because, detective, his voice faltered. I trusted only you with the last drops of something real. Her grip loosened around the handcuffs. She stood at the edge of duty, and something far more dangerous. In the moonlight, two destinies stood facing each other. And the desert waited to see which one she would choose.